Hey everybody and welcome to Bandit Let's Sculpt January. My name is Cedric and it's day 5, Procrastinate. And I didn't totally procrastinate to do this. It's 2 o'clock, I'm streaming. Ha! I win. Okay, I have no idea what to do with this though. I was thinking about characters from what's it called? Gumball, The Adventures of Gumball, because they are procrastinators for sure. But they're so 2D. I don't want to attempt a 3D sculpt of that. I think it's gonna be a bit too hard. But you know what? I might make a character based off a sloth. Hey everybody. Hey Sculptors. Have you thought about getting a job at Pixar? You're good. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm bad, but being good enough for Pixar. I mean, if you work at Pixar and you wanna have me, sure. I'll get you my resume, but I did apply to Pixar once, but that was for a project coordinator. Didn't get the job. A sloth, not a slop. Yeah, I think I'm gonna base a character off a sloth and maybe do something with it. Let's see. Just start sketching and see where we go. So I'm just gonna grab I'm just gonna check if my remesh smooth normals 0.35. It's all good. Let's see where we go. Let's put on my thing for now. Kind of want to give it a head. I have kind of pretty simple heads. A little snout. Pretty. I kind of have to figure out what the sloth is doing because I'm kind of like we're looking more down because that's gonna define the pose most. But yeah, the people at Pixar, I think I know. I mean, Colin Levy worked at Pixar, and his level is insane. And he didn't even work as a character artist, I think. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm... Whoops! Yeah. Did I do 0.35? Yeah, 0.035. There we go. It's gonna be better. Let's see here. Let's go a little bit. Let's maybe find... I think it's not a little bit too out there. I just now want to get the shape, the general shape of everything. So let's just do the body separately. There we go. Kind of a bit heavy in the middle. I am 13 right now, and I'm with Fish to get better stone. Get if I work hard enough, I'll get a job at Pixar as an animator or character designer. Yeah, if you already got that down at the age of 13, go for it, and you'll get there. Although I think maybe by the time you're 18, Pixar might not be the studio it once was, but there's so many great studios coming up that like don't only focus on Pixar. Like the animation studio that just finished Klaus. And it was made by we've got to check that out too. Spa Studios, yeah, from Sergio Pablos. Their designs are next level, and I think they're really pushing what can be done with animation. Because Pixar is fine and all, but I think maybe in 5 years they'll make cool stuff again. I mean, Onward looks amazing, so I shouldn't really complain. Yeah, if you already think that's... Because me at the age of 13, man, I did not even know what 3D animation was. I mean, I've seen Toy Story and such, but... Yeah, it's great for you, man. I think I have an idea. What if kind of want to bring the called? Shift S, cursor to world origin. Yeah. Oh, music is a bit too loud. No, no, stop. Crazy. Give him a branch to lean on. And then with his back paws, he might be holding a controller or something. That might be cool. So let's try to get an interesting shape going here. So I'm just going to use very, very basic. This arm should come from here. Because I think I only started doing animation or knowing about animation when I was 19. I started a course in gaming, not gaming, like game development, but I was a programmer back then. But in the end, I didn't like it. Because I never really wanted to become a programmer, but I did like IT because I liked working with computers and I like doing creative stuff, sure. But then yeah, you work with computers and it's like, oh, what do I want to do? Let me bring the head a little bit down more. Just gonna find some. I think his head should be leaning on the branch. That might be interesting. Gonna bring his hands back up. A little bit less chubby, and then have his they have weird back paw. They have weird paws, so it also goes like this, right? Kind of want to bring this more in a solid shape. Oh, whoops, that's a problem. I might already go a little bit more into detail because yeah, it's not good. Go away. Go away. Where's my inflate tool? Just gonna brute force this. No. No. Man, can I not make this so small? It just disappears. Come on. What am I doing with my life? Come on, it's almost gone. Oh, is it gonna just stay there? Okay. Just going to this easy way. Yeah, and just fill this up. Really? Yeah, there we go. Okay, now this should stay separated. Okay, cool. All right, simplify our shapes here a little bit. What? Yeah, one thing I can tell you is like look for internships perhaps as well. I mean, at your age, you probably won't get an internship somewhere, but I think you sometimes can learn a lot more from internships than from college degrees. But yeah, aim for the college degrees first. Like somewhere in design, or I think like the best designer I know personally, then you do college. He did like a yeah, what do you call it in English? We just call it like grown-up school. Just like courses, private courses. And she now works at Rare, which is pretty awesome. I think I have to make him hang a little bit more and bring the head back down a little bit. might scrap this idea. I'm not sure. Although, not sure we have the luxury to scrap ideas at this point. So I also started out being, man, if you're 13 and you started wanting to be a game developer, but I found writing the code a little boring. Are you really 13? Trying to learn Python. Yeah, that's also pretty valuable. Man, you remind me of this kid we met at the Blender. What's it called? The Beacon Blender conference. This kid walked up, also like 13 or 14 years old, I guess. He was there with his dad. But he gave us his card, and I was like, what's a 13-year-old doing with a card? And I checked his website, and there was already work in there. And man, I sometimes feel like my youth had been so wasted. Like I did nothing productive. On the other hand, man, go enjoy your teen years. What are you doing learning Python? No, it's good. If you enjoy doing it, like, you should do what you enjoy doing. I think, like, I guess now people your age have more the luxury of doing that, I guess. Or luxury. I shouldn't say luxury, but I mean, guess in my day, like, we had a Windows 98 computer, or a Windows Vista after that. We had to share it, but like there weren't a lot of resources out there, or I didn't know. Like, I was fascinated by Toy Story and animation and stuff, for sure, but like there was no YouTube with making offs and tutorials, so it was all still pretty new. Yeah, good for you. Hey, Toxic, how about you then? Hang in there. Ha ha ha! I see what you did there. Kind of trying to, because his weight needs to be distributed. Like, if he's hanging from here, like the central point of gravity should also be on this point, I guess. He's a little bit too muscular at this point. I guess his feet should be. I can go to the extreme, like, a little bit. Why not? I want to make him a happy sloth. He's gaming, so maybe just I'm very quickly gonna make something with metal balls, I think, because it seems like the fastest way to go. Let's add a metal ball. I used to, if you saw my older sculpts, I always started out with metal balls. Oh, come on. Okay. No, I now have to convert this, right? Convert to mesh. Cool. Now we got a good base mesh going. And we can symmetrize this later. It's just a reference for now. There we go. I kind of want to figure out how he's holding it, because he has little sloth feet, which are weird. And I guess like they have claws, so I can just stop the feet here and bring the claws so that he's holding the controller like this. I'm not saying gaming is bad, of course. We game all day. I think we spend a good chunk of we're I mean, I don't want to say anything, but somebody's gaming right now. Oh, it's okay, it's Sunday. It's lazy Sunday. I know people who take it but the bad thing about getting a job outside my country, The Faroe Islands. Is it I have to get a visa? Isn't it hard to get a visa? Depends on which country I want to go to. But where are the Faroe Islands? I'm gonna... That's not in Europe, I'm guessing. Maps. Holy, you live in the middle of nowhere. Oh, you live between the United Kingdom and Iceland. Oh, I know that place. Yeah, yeah, it's really beautiful. I think there's this... I don't know if this was on the Faroe Islands or on Iceland, but on the I think it's on the Faroe Islands. But there's somewhere like a soccer field that's just next to a huge mountain, and it looks so out of place. I don't know where it is though. I should look it up. Yeah, I found it. It's, I think it's this one. I'm just gonna show it here. It's just like, you have these cliffs and these mountains, and then there's just a soccer field in the middle of, and I love it. I love everything about it. It's crazy. I remember seeing that picture from somebody who went on vacation there, and yeah, but that's within Europe, so you don't need a visa to go anywhere in Europe, right? You can just work anywhere in Europe, I think, without too much hassle, except for Great Britain, I guess. But getting a visa isn't that hard. Like, if you get work, especially like if you would, if Pixar, like, yeah, okay, let me phrase this correctly. Mostly the studio where you're gonna work, if it's a bigger studio, they will help you get a visa, and they will help you find a place. They will help you get everything in order. And I never heard of somebody like just being left to their fate when it comes to that. I had friends going to the UK or to Canada, and they always received some kind of help, whether it was from the studio or like somebody the studio hired to help out. So don't worry about that. Yeah, that's a sloth. Hey, oh damn, Heartbreaker. Oh, Heartbreaker. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, thanks for joining. But yeah, getting a visa is pretty. I wouldn't worry about it. Like, if you have skills, like no company is gonna hire you because they don't believe that you can be an asset to their company, right? And if they think that you're an asset to the company, they will also go out of their way to help you. Because even like the studio I worked at in Ghent here had a lot of people actually from South America, and they also got helped with a work visa. And like the thing, if you hear like stories where it was hard to get a visa or to get somewhere, it's mostly from people just deciding to move somewhere. I think like the pause might be a little bit too short here. I think I'm just gonna move them up a little bit. They have pretty long. Although, like, especially their front paws are super long, so I might just make this a little bit. I mean, we're gonna probably put the camera here or something. That's fine. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that yet. Because I mean, you're 13. It's gonna be at least 5 years before you start working somewhere across the sea. How are the Faroe Islands doing? I mean, that must be a calm life. I wouldn't mind moving there actually. Like I'm kind of a city boy. I like the busyness and being able to get out of my house and have stuff around me. Kind of have like these pouches. But on the other hand, I would see myself like living somewhere very calm on the other hand, but just if I have a luxury to do that, to be a fisherman, you know. Life isn't all about hard work and achieving. Sometimes it can just be about relaxing and just living life to the fullest. But hey, go for your dreams, man. Shoot for the stars. Especially if you already know what you want to do. And So many chats. Soccer field in a place called Lervik. Oh, are you also talking about? Huh? Okay, I'm not following, but. Oh yeah, that's also right next to a mountain. But I mean, you live in a beautiful country, man. Now I'm thinking about if I should separate or if I should stick all this together, because I think it doesn't matter that much. I'm just gonna go into a little bit more detail here. I have 30k faces and I... Come on, remesh. We're doing great, I think. I don't know how much there is delay. Okay, there's not too much delay, but at some point the stream was 30 seconds behind the actual real life. So if I'm strangely answering to some chats, that's the reason. Just so you guys know. But thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. It's really appreciated, man. So, by the way, if you want to check out something cool, Julian, that's Julian Kaspar, just started uploading again his time lapses from last year. So, if you really want to see some cool techniques, 50 times the speed of light, go check out his channel. After the stream, of course. Don't leave the stream. I don't want to overuse the crease brush again, but I think it might be best option at this point. I'm just gonna drag this down. This should come together a little bit more, right? Slots have butts, right? I really don't want to Google sloth butt. Oh no, there it is. I didn't need to Google it. It was just straight in my face. Gosh, who doesn't love sloths? I do. I despise them. Just kidding. I also love them. They don't really have butts, but I want to get the they're like little teddy bears, really. And if you could keep one as a pet without endangering the entire species, I would. I'm not sure if they're an endangered species, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna make the claws separately later on. Yeah, okay, you're gonna be my reference, little buddy. I'm just gonna go. There's not a lot of detail. Yeah, there we go. 100k faces, that should do it. Okay, let's see if we can get the shape of a sloth in here. Just start carving out something. I want him to smile. Just trying to get the shapes in here with the crease brush, and then maybe start layering on top of that. And start over exaggerating the motion. The sloths look like they're high all the time. I mean, and get the eye here. What am I doing? There we go. It's just this brush. Might make his face a little bit less. It's really hard to get a grip on their anatomy. I think, like, yeah, I kind of want to. It's a little bit bigger. what makes a slav a slav? I think like that's something I can't really do in sculpting, but I'll try to do it with some sculpting. That sounds weird. Is they kind of have this face mask here, right? So we'll try to kind of get that in there with sculpting some fur. But yeah, it already starts to look more like a Slav. Thanks for shout out, man. Did you work in a CG company before? Yeah, so I worked for 3.5 years at Grid VFX, which is a CG studio in Ghent. And I actually studied in Ghent, so going from one to the other was pretty easy. I wasn't too homebound back then, but I am now. So I kind of like don't want to leave Ghent anymore. But who sees what the future brings, right? As I said, like if Pixar sends me a job, like wants to give me a job, then I'm in. Probably. Or some other big studio, but I worked at and what we worked on first. My first job there was working on Neck 2. So if you know Video Game Donkey, you know the meme. So that was it was fun because we were working on that when the game was released yet, and Video Game Donkey was making his videos about yeah, it's like Neck 2 is coming, and people were like, nah, they're never gonna make Neck 2, and it was pretty hilarious to then be working on Neck 2 and seeing that happen. But it was a game, but we did actually the lighting and effects for the cutscenes. So if you, I still need to add that to my portfolio actually, because there was a pretty strict NDA for a long time. But yeah, that, I mean, that ship has sailed so hard, so I'm like, yeah, it's in my private portfolio. So I have a private portfolio reel that I can't show in public because yeah, NDAs and stuff. Although at the moment I don't think there's stuff in there that hasn't been released to the public yet. Yeah, I worked on Neck 2. Let's make the note a little bit smaller here. Mouth should also be a little bit closer to the nose, so let's drag this together here a bit. Let's keep the nice curve here. After that, I worked on, well, I worked on that, yeah, so on lighting and effects for the cutscenes, and our studio did all of them. So, and we were with a team of 5 people, I think, or at some point a little bit more. I think we were with 7 at some point. But yeah, that was a very fun project. Why? Because we worked in a real-time environment, so the cutscenes were real-time. I think some of them were pre-rendered, but they were then they were rendered like in the engine. So they were rendered in the engine and put in as a video file in the game. So not the just gonna make sure this kind of seems a little bit realistic. They don't have ears, right? No. They're so weird. Such a weird animal to sculpt. I think the fur does a lot. After that I worked on some kid shows. To be honest, I didn't really see eye to eye to the things we made. So those were really like kids stuff, like toddler shows and stuff. So that wasn't the most exciting things to do. But, you know, job's a job, and I already worked there. After that, I became a production coordinator there, so that was exciting. So I actually stopped doing 3D. I did their 3D lighting and compositing as well. While at home, I still did like modeling and character, more creative stuff. Then I became production coordinator, which made me the guy who, like I need more fat here, who oversaw the, like the tracking. We had a software package called Shotgun from Autodesk, with which we track like all the assets and the shots, and something that's you know, you see in all big studios. I didn't work on Paw Patrol. Are you crazy? If I made Paw Patrol, then the guy who made Paw Patrol is a millionaire now. I think that's the only really successful kids show on that level. Now we made Nothing You Would Know. I worked on a Flemish. It's a Flemish comic book called it's called Luke and Lucy in English. It's called like Suske and Wiske. Like the kids show of that, the junior version, and it ran on some networks here, and it was pretty cool to see, like something you made on television, of course. But because I'm so much into, I see what I'm missing here. I kind of need to make the eyebrows a little bit more here. I just want to like create this here. Yeah, there we go. There's that sloughness. It's always just one element that's missing somewhere. It's just like searching, like, yeah, there we go. I think I kind of want to also kind of make him happier, like maybe the other way around. There we go. Happy slough. And then of course I worked on there was this Czech production on which I helped a little bit on the production, but not on the 3D side. That might be a bit too much. Just like figuring out the eyes now. Which YouTube blender you consider as your rivalry or competition? Andrew Price. Nah, just kidding. No one really. I might not be like, the thing is, the Blender community is so small. I think at the Blender conference 3 years ago, we all met each other. So at one Blender conference, we all sat around one table and talked to each other and became friends, basically. Especially like who was there, like Julian Kaspar, Zacharias Reinhardt, Rico Collier, myself. Thing is Lucas, which last name I just forgot, but he doesn't really make the tours, but he helps on the CG boosting and such. Who else was there? Glab was there, Glab Alexandrov. He's more of a silent type, I think. He's a very fun guy though. I talked to him a little bit. Andrew Price wasn't there that year, his loss, but I think, yeah, there's really competition going on. Like we give feedback to each other. We help each other out with some projects. I mean, Gleb Alexandrov worked together with the other guy. I want to name names now because I don't want to leave anybody out. With Creative Shrimp. One. My internet's going a bit slow. AD Burrows, yeah. And haven't met him yet. Also haven't. Yeah, I met Hjalti briefly. He's good friends with Julian. So many names. Yeah, but it's basically like I mean, you see like, and then it's like this big we all kind of work together from time to time, some more with others. I don't like, I work together with Syndicate Pro, who kind of left the Blender scene to do more like shading on Substance, which is good for him. He's doing great stuff on Twitter. Yeah, AD Burrows. I really like Ninjago. I mean, it's so straightforward and not super exciting, but I like it for a reason. Yeah, but the Lego stuff is nice, I think, because it I'm gonna leave the smile as is. Because I know it looks a bit cartoony, but that's really the intent, I think. I don't want to make it too realistic, because then without fur it will just look weird. And if I make it a bit cartoonier, then I can get away with just stylizing the fur a little bit. Because I could make this done and just have the rest fur and paint the fur, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, they have some really cool courses. I think like it goes a little bit more to VFX. The thing is, though, I think I touched on this yesterday as well. The 3D production spectrum is so broad of what you can do and what is being done with it. I'm talking like commercials. Like I have / had a script ready of actually addressing that in a video. But I made a list in that. Where is it? Yeah, I made a list in that of like just the like AAA 3D animation, VFX game development, commercial 3D animation, commercial VFX, mobile game development, indie game development, product design, product visualization, simulation visualization, architectural visualization, and smaller versions of these branches. It goes in crazy amounts of directions. Like I'm listening to Avengers soundtrack, right? There you have also like everything in the 3D production pipeline, but it's so different than what you would see in a Pixar studio, or what you would see in an indie studio, or what you would see in a game studio. That I think the issue I mostly have with most of these channels is that they don't really have a focus. Like, for instance, Andrew Price, right? Andrew Price is clearly focused on architectural visualization. But I think a lot of people who don't want to do architectural visualization are still drawn to his tutorials and are still drawn to his thing, because the way he presents it. And he is interested in character design and lighting, and he draws and he posts it on social media, and that's fine. I mean, everybody does what they want. But I think like what people seem to lose grip of is that is the fact that it's so broad, and you can do 100 different things within one pipeline of 3D, and then there's 100 different pipelines. And it's so insane if you just start thinking about it. I'm not really addressing a problem here, just stating the obvious. But it's like, yeah, I don't have any rivals. I think maybe I sometimes disagree with some people's business plans. Because in the end, you want to make money with what you do, and if you want to make money, you need to draw in as big as possible of an audience as possible. And I think like what Andrew Price is trying to do, which is fine, I'm not saying he's doing something wrong. What he's doing is that's gonna be the best way to do this. I'm trying to make the claws now. Is that the let's add a new circle with less. Let's see here, 16 vertices. Is he went on Corridor Crew, which is amazing for him. And he talked about 3D, right? And he's very interested in the future of 3D and how you can innovate. And I follow him for that reason, because he has a great network, and he talks about stuff that isn't discussed a lot in the industry. Because frankly, most people, like for instance the AI stuff, right? He had a talk at the Blender conference in 2019 or 18, 2018 was, about AI, right? I'm just gonna have to put my really weird claws. They're like really round, not very sharp. And I think he made a very good points there. And I think, yeah, the industry is going to some point where we use AI a lot more, and where we use pre-made stuff a lot more, because it's just cheaper to do, right? Why? How many fingers do they have? 3? Yes. 3 long, creepy fingers. The middle one a little bit. They're all a little bit equal size, but and I think Enterprise is doing a great job on that. But then in the end, what you need to kind of make money, making courses, making YouTube videos especially, is you need a lot of viewers, and for that you need to have something that talks to a lot of people at the same time. And like, for me, it still baffles me how Corridor Crew now got the most views on VFX Artists React 2, because they talk about a lot of stuff that people don't. I mean, yeah, of course, they keep it simple, right? And they explain stuff very well. But in the end, it's still just like, they talk about smoke simulations, and somebody who's never like touched VFX before will not know what that is. Which, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's just the way it is. But they still like rake in like hundreds and thousands of because in the end people still want to know how things are made, and I think that's what draws a lot of people to these channels. It's like how things are made. And I think that the danger maybe is that a lot of channels will go towards, like channels that focus on CGI and VFX will go towards that kind of content just to be able to make a living. And I think that might be something not so fantastic for what some other people are trying to do. Because I mean, even I'm trying to figure out like a business plan around making tutorials or making stuff that I want to do. But for me, that isn't primarily YouTube. That isn't. I think YouTube for me isn't the way to go now if I want to make a living with what I like to do. So I'm working on something else, and I'm doing these streams now because it's SculptJanuary. I need to have something to get my creative juices flowing for 2020. You know, before World War III breaks out. I shouldn't joke about that. But yeah, it's surely a discussion to be had, but you know, that's the only hassle I have with some other YouTube channels, that they design their videos around what would get in the most views, which is naturally, of course, because you want to making a living through YouTube. Like, it's for some people a dream come true, right? I think the only one, I mean, PewDiePie made a point about he's gonna stop doing what other people want and start doing what he himself likes, so not to destroy his own sanity. But he's the only one in the position where he can say that. I think a lot of people are still constrained by following popular trends or doing the stuff that other people are doing just to get views in, right? I mean, even VFX Artists React is a form of reaction video, which is not very popular. I'm getting a tablet in 4 months. It's such a long time. What do you mean? Oh yeah, is it just because it needs to go that far? Oh man, I feel bad for you. That shouldn't take that long. 4 months, right? I should bring a tablet over there. Have a vacation in the meantime. Okay, I think the shape is pretty good now. I think we can just the face a little bit better, but now we gotta start figuring out, like, because I'm in a furry character and I don't know why. It was practically suicide. Creative suicide. Now we'll see how we can make this interesting. We're just gonna go in. I want these, like, these sloths have like very specific shapes to their in their fur, and I'm just gonna start trying to see how I can incorporate this in a more stylized kind of sculpt, right? Alright. At the same time, I can see where I need to adjust the anatomy. think the mouth might be a little bit closer to, yeah, the nose, definitely. But no, I have no rivals on YouTube. Or like, there even was like a short amount of time, there was a Facebook group with all the, or like most of the people who gave tutorials, where we just could exchange tips and tricks and stuff. But it felt like half of them were too busy to be bothered with it or didn't go on Facebook, and then the other half like were kind of trying to, like, yeah, there was some feedback given and there was some communication in there, but kind of want to make him more relaxed, so the eyes need to have a more stable shape, so just gonna drag the edges down. Yeah, there we go. There he is. Oh, chill bastard. Is that a word I can't say? Bastard. Is that a bad word? I can make these soft actually. Like these shapes here. I need to fatten this up anyway, so just gonna remesh it once more because I stretched some polys too much out. So, oof, I'm gonna go more into detail here. 0.0035. I still don't get how that scale works. It's like it goes exponential, like you can't add double the damage by halving that amount. And it's like, I wish they could translate it somehow to amount of polys, that you could just say, instead of voxel size being, yeah, I mean I get it, right? But just saying, I kind of want this many faces, and I think that would be too hard to calculate. For sure, that wouldn't be easy to do. But yeah, it would be nice. A man can dream. I can dream, Harold. Just staring. Let's fix the nose a little bit. I want to make this a little bit more stylized as well. Go in a spiral here. Whoops. And just push this back in and kind of create the right shape. I think that I need to pull his forehead back. Yeah, definitely. I kind of want to use a flatten brush and just, you know, flatten out these unnecessary blobs here and there. Let's make the shape simpler again, right? Like here as well. I want it a little bit messy. Like the simpler your shapes are, especially if you're making stylized stuff. Now, even if you make realistic stuff, like you want your shapes to be simple and going in S-curves, basically. Like I learned this in 2D painting, but like pulling this into 3D has helped me a lot. It's like just thinking in S-curves. Of course not force it, and like here, like I think it's nice that this goes into a straight line, but again, this is like a simple shape that I want to follow, and then from the side I'm looking like, yeah, still has some issues. And kind of even everything out, use a flatten brush, and then there's no sense in being 100% correct to some reference image if it doesn't look good, right? I'm seeing here that they do have some kind of hood, right? I kind of want to visualize that. So I think I kind of want to scrape, whoops, not too much here. I should have separated the head with the arms, I think. I'm getting, it's hard, yeah, it's hard sculpting with a mouse. You shouldn't sculpt with a mouse, but yeah, if you have no other option. But good that your thing is going, like 4 months isn't that long. And you're still only 13 years old. You still have 5 years of like full-time training before you even need to go into the industry, right? You can be one of those people that annoys all the other people because he comes into college with like an insane amount of skill. I've known such people. Don't be worried about that, you'll be fine. I still need to get accustomed to my webcam being right in front of me instead of to the right side of my screen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sculpting this branch a little bit. So I'm gonna apply the scale if that hasn't been done before. Go into sculpt mode, go into remesh, smooth normals, and then just put this to 0.02 should be fine, yeah. I'm just gonna find some branches which I can base myself off. And I think I'm gonna do here, because this still has X mirror, but I don't want X mirror. I want radial Z, that should be, yes. I want to put that on 3. That's gonna just save me a lot of time, like 2/3 of the time to be precise. It's not gonna, like, the 3 details are never gonna be fully visible to the point that you can see that's repeating, but it's saving a little bit of work. Right, so like if I can make something like this, like maybe this I will later on adjust that, like maybe the end doesn't look like a triangle too much or something. Good branch. I want a rough branch. That is a tattoo. That's a lot of tattoos. Branch reference, really? Come on. Or maybe log. Yeah, there we go. That's a food log. I'm planning to being a huge nerd, yeah. But I mean, I can already prepare you for college. Like if you go into college, like game development, everybody's a big nerd. Suddenly coming, because in high school I wasn't the most popular kid, partly because of my fault. I wasn't like pestered or anything. I wasn't bullied, but I definitely was kind of a loner. Until like the later years of high school, I think, where I became more like, I had a little bit more friends, but still I kind of forced myself to like what they like, just to fit in, I guess. But I had a couple of friends who were into the same stuff and showed me a lot of stuff. But once you get into college and you do something like game development, suddenly there's a crazy amount of nerds there. And to be honest, yeah, it was a hell of a time. Even now, like once you start working in a studio, you notice like so many people having the same the same interests and just the same. Just gonna make some bigger lines here. I'm gonna also my radius a bit. Some more variation. It's gonna be very rough here first. See if some lines start sticking out. Can we even use the blob brush and use this fall off to custom or constant, and you also get like these a bit harsher, you know, lines. This starts to look like a lock, you know. I even go more into detail, I don't know why. 0.004. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I can smooth it out again because I kind of want not to create these kind of blobby feels. But if you now brush it out on this side, you can even use a scrape brush, I think, like to make this a lot more stylistic. And then if you start brushing out these, you can see like a cool wooden log starts to appear. Can't really make this smaller here somewhere. Bring in a little bit of variation, you know. You can even rotate it like this. It's actually a cool effect. Huh, didn't know it was possible. Makes sense, I guess. And then we can go into smaller details and start really I don't want to do too much sketching here, but and here, yeah, you can just make this round. Looks kind of like the beginning of a log. There we go. And then maybe make a hole in here. Goes like this. And the trees are smooth, right? So, oops. Kind of want to put the fall off back on smooth. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that really sells the kind of push together here. Like a little bit more of a seam here. Putting some seams here and there could also help, I guess. Like where the shapes come together. It's just like before you put a brush stroke, see what's already there, and then decide on your, like for instance here we have this piece going, and I can just pull this through, and then this gets a little bit more like defined. Do you like Ratatouille? You spelled it right, yeah. I love it. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies, actually. I see that your thingy is Linguini. I even know the names, because they all have food names, and I love food. Wait, is it called what's the... Yeah, the mouse is called Remy, right? Yeah, he's called Linguini. With his last name, but I forget his first name. But yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, it's, I think, one of the better... one of the last great Pixar movies, I think, to be honest. Because I don't know why. I'm gonna shut off the radial here, so we can just put in some extra detail and just drag it around a little bit, you know. Just pull this out. Yeah, I could tell. The thing about Ratatouille is, the thing about every Pixar movie is that to some degree they kind of innovated something with every new movie. For Ratatouille it was a subsurface scattering, because they needed that for the rat's ears. So if you see, because I was thinking about making something where we look at movies, animated movies, and check out the effects and techniques used. Oh, come on. Yeah, I can't find the shot, but yeah, but you know what I mean. Like if he looks at something and there's some light behind him, you can kind of see the light going through his ears, like, and that was really something that Ratatouille had to innovate on subsurface scattering as well for the human characters, because I think it was the real first time where they had human characters. So they really needed to perfect that. Yeah, and that's pretty. For Moana, for instance, that's a Disney movie, but also Pixar had to innovate on water fluids. So they first made that short with a little crab, if you remember that, just in preparation for Moana, right? Is Moana a Disney movie? Yeah, it's Brave is Pixar. Yeah, Brave was a hare. Because the whole reason that Toy Story was because the shaders looked like plastic back then, and they were like, it's gonna be way easier to make toy characters than to make real human characters. So that's why they decided on just having toys. And then they had cars, you know. I think for Cars, the first Cars movie, it was HDRIs, skies, and large landscapes that were really the difficulty. And they every time like challenged themselves into doing something they hadn't done before, and I think I do need to kind of. Oh, I forgot to put on my mirror. Should be a line here. Finding Dory was hard because of yeah, the octopus. I heard that the octopus was a real pain in the butt. It was not only bendy bones because you have to kind of bend it like all the way. It's not just a joint, right? It's just fluids everywhere, and then he himself is a soft body, so it's crazy. I don't want to even. I think the animators went to do council after that. That was. I mean, it looked brutal on screen. Even if you looked at it, it was like, how did they do that? Yeah, I guess I got his eyes right now. Let's just pump out the eyelid a little bit more. So it's just more one shape here. There we go. And here as well. To really have the eyelid shape there. Let's just pull this together a little bit more. There we go. And we can like, I'm gonna see if these shapes work. This stylized. It kind of works. I think I should do that a little bit less extreme. And drag his forehead even more to the back. Like this. Yeah, so this oval shape comes really here. Yeah, that works. And then we just use a flatten brush to make this one nice solid shape. There you go, and here as well. Like, just go with the flatten brush. You don't always see what it's doing, but then afterwards, you kind of, if you go over it, you see kind of what the intent was. Here, like. Here as well. Just about having these simple shapes, really with hard edges, not like hard surface edges, but just well defined edges, because we like that. This one as well, like I kind of want to. Do you know how to make procedural skies in Blender? Yeah. Yeah, I know how to do procedural clouds in some sense. I did it for the previous project. But it's clouds that are like, it's 2D clouds. It just gives, you can't fly through them or anything. But yeah, clouds are pretty, because the way you say it, you kind of want shadows. Yeah, but if you're using RenderMan, just use RenderMan for Blender. Although that might not be as refined. I don't know what to do else for his body because, you know, it's kind of a blob. And I think if I try to define these shapes here too much, it loses its softness. It's a new word. I coined it. Trademark. I want to turn off the mirror here so I can give him kind of like different kind of hands. And maybe I just want to use a rotate tool to, oh, that's the nudge tool. Kind of rotate his face a little bit, just to give him a little bit of a different expression. optimize later on. Because the thing I want to do here is to really not make this super symmetrical, because we don't have a lot to work with, so we have to make it a little bit more interesting. I think I have the camera the other way. I kind of want to put this one lower so we can see the controller a little bit more. So that might be a good idea. Maybe one thing we might still want to do is inflate the belly a little bit. I don't think Blender 2. Yeah, could be. I don't think it does, I guess. I kind of want to have the nails like this. Kind of want to have them closer to each other because my anatomy is a little bit off. Yeah, there we go. Listening to the trailer music for Avengers Endgame. I didn't really finish my thought from earlier, did I? Not sure if it's necessary though. Okay, so we just wanna join these upper ones up, convert them, or we just apply the skin, right? Apply the subdivision, and just shade them smooth. And then I kind of want to join them up with this. I should have done it sooner. I'm not going to do it. They're fine. A bit shorter stream today, depending on how fast the controller is going to do. And I have an exciting new thing coming up for all YouTube peeps. So be on the lookout for that. I kind of want to put this like this, right? Gonna go oof. Okay, let's go back. I'll brush a little bit smaller. Just bring the front paw up here. And this one a little bit more like this. Now you have to do some corrections here. Fatten this a little bit up, fatten this a little bit down. Yeah, this went all kind of weird. Good thing I didn't put not too much detail. Do you know Ian Hubert? Yeah, he hey Shiva, what's up? Why those smileys? What's that smiley? Expressionless. Why don't you have any expression? Who's Ian Hubert again? Oh yeah, Ian Hubert, I know. Yeah, he worked on Tears of Steel. Yeah. I heard him talk once. What, world building in Blender? Was this? Yeah, there was this the last BlenderCon. Yeah, I know him. I don't know him personally, but can make control a little bit bigger. That still like looks like he's holding on to it for dear life. I think maybe make it a bit bigger again. I'm gonna sculpt it a little bit because at this point I'm just gonna enable Dyne Topo and symmetrize it for a second. There we go. Disable Dyne Topo, remesh to 0.012 or something. There we go. Yeah, okay, not that much. Yeah, remesh. No. Oh no. Oh no. You see how it jumped away there? Yeah, I have to. Ah, damn it. Control Z. Can I Control Z it? No. Man, I'm gonna try and quit Blender before my computer explodes. Yeah. Bye bye. Oh no. I did not save. Oh no. I was just hoping that there's an autosave. I'm just gonna put this on my other screen. Autosave. Date modified. Hey, we didn't lose anything. I'm gonna save for the first time. This is why you need to save. There we go. Alright. Luckily for us, the autosave worked. So, gotta try this again. Go to sculpt mode. Go to Dyn Topo. Symmetrize this first. Points of 0.39, I guess. Come on. Oh yeah, disable Dyn Topo. And then remesh. There we go. That's still like a lot of faces. Wait, why does it have this many? Oh, it's just the total amount of faces. I am a bloody idiot. There we go. Smooth it out. Wait, what am I doing? Smooth it out. And I don't want to make it a specific controller, but knowing controllers, we're just gonna design our own controller for a hot second here. Let's see here. And then we can just very easily, you know, disable and create 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just go smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And here, I think I got it the other way around, right? I have a controller here somewhere. No, that's the right way. We're just gonna go like this. Nah, it's just keep it. There we go. Now we just. Man, this is terrible. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rake it first. Just gonna make this a little bit harder. Shapes. There you go. And then should probably do this. Yeah, let's try it again. There we go. It's gonna be a little bit easier. And then just pull this down here. Now we kind of have some hard edges with which we can work, right? Now it looks a little bit more like something hard surfaced. You know, it's just a cheap way of achieving that. And there we go. This we can smooth out. Just two. There we go. And just first do the symmetrical parts. Like, let's create a button here. The fall off constant. Let's put a button here. Let's put a button here. Here we'll have a cable running out. It's just very rough, right? And then we wanna make this symmetrical, so I'm just gonna rake this out. That's not gonna work, so I'm just gonna flatten it. Wait, can I use this tool? Ah, it kinda looks good. And how many? Oh, there's already a new mix. gonna listen to some Witcher music. And let's just, you know, create something interesting here. It kind of looks like a controller, right? I can kind of have our little buttons here, here. I mean, he's holding it, so I think the shape might be the most important part. Like that we get like the shape a little bit more correct here, and that it still stays simple. I mean, this, you're not gonna see a lot of this, so yeah, let me be lazy. And now I might still adjust it. I can't be over to sculpt a full detail controller now, just to be enveloped completely by a sloth hand. As long as it conveys the message. So let's sculpt here. Let's turn off our symmetry. Is it easy to model a controller with hard surface modeling? Yeah, it is, but it's a sculpting challenge. Yeah, I'm not hard on sculpting everything, but the thing is, like, if I'm gonna like do a full controller now, it's just gonna be a whole thing on itself, and I kind of want to focus on the character sculpting and not on the. It's just a small detail within the piece. Priorities, right? So there we go. So I'm already gonna check where I'm gonna put the camera. I think I might do a 18720 piece for once, just to have something 200%. Yeah, it is definitely easier. If you would do this in production, then sure. These are just like speed sculpts. I'm kind of trying to be better at characters. I know how to model that controller. I'm not being a very good teacher, am I? I'm gonna merge these vertices, then hope I can find it. There we go. There it is. Gonna snap this one to the face here. And I'm just gonna do this. There we go. I'm just gonna give it a skin modifier. And give it just press press Ctrl 2 for subdivision, copy it, put one above. There we go. Why am I? Oh no. Go back to vertices. What I'm gonna do is just have this go to. Can I just press 0? Yeah. Let's first go up and then down. Yeah, there we go. You know. And I move this really in there. Put smooth shading. There we go. Let's have the camera a bit more here. Yeah, so I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna do a little bit of shorter stream today. Perhaps because I think tomorrow again. Let me check the prompts. Tomorrow I want to do something really cool, so that might be a longer stream. Although tomorrow I'm gonna stream in the pre-noon, in the morning, basically, because I have some stuff to do in the afternoon that I can't really reschedule. So, and I kind of want to keep my energy for like the remaining 25. I'm just thinking, like, can I? I don't think so. Create these kind of. I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of detail work if I have to do that over the entire body. I'm gonna do a couple of things here. I'm just gonna protrude the fingers a little bit. Why has Noon made a mouse with pressure? Why has Noon made a mouse with pressure sensitivity? I think there are mice with pressure sensitivity. Although, not sure though. That would be a weird thing to. I mean, it's you could make one, but yeah, that's. I mean, the two main reasons why you want to have a pressure sensitivity for sculpting is one, of course, is the brush strokes. Why you want to have a tablet is, of course, because of the pressure sensitivity. Yeah, that's one. But I think also another one is just how you can draw your lines. But hey, in those 4 months, get all the theory through it. Study anatomy, study some, you know what? Study some drawing. That's one tip I can give you that helped me in my sculpting a lot, and I will guarantee you everybody at Pixar knows how to draw, and it's helping everybody. Just find some character drawing lessons, find some paper and pen. You'll have paper and pen. And then for the next 4 months, learn to draw. And then once your tablet comes, transfer that. There's one thing that helped me enormously with human characters is I just drew a bunch of skulls like every day. I can even like, show it to you if I want, because I have a good webcam now. This is an older sketchbook, I think. Yeah, this is an older one. Oh no. Yeah, for instance here. Let's see if this comes. This shows well. Here you can see like skulls I've drawn. There are some older ones. So just some by sketches. Then somewhere my big sketchbook is. And then I really drew. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you. Where's my big sketchbook? Honey? Waar is mijn groot sketchboek? Mijn sketchboeken? Ja, die?
Je hebt de vorige keer wel even opgeruimd, dus... Hier al niet.
Nah, I'll show it next time. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Oh, I know where it is. It's in my backpack. So I also keep my D&D notes on this. So. Like I've drawn poses as well. Yeah, characters. Drawing from reference. Trying to find my skulls here. I did a lot of skull studies. Because then if you start sculpting, then suddenly you're like, oh yeah, but I know there's a bone here. And I know this should go this way and such. Yeah, this was in October. So yeah, this was back in September and October that I've drawn this much. I should draw again. I should draw even more. But I noticed that I'm not super good in there we go. So that's from all perspectives. Well, from the frontal perspectives, like drawing skulls. Before that, I've drawn more skulls with some shading and stuff. and then yeah, drawing smaller stuff. Yeah, but really just drawing poses as well. Drawing from a pose reference. Yeah. So yeah, do that. Where did you learn to draw? Internet. What I did do is there's just YouTube. I found one course, but I didn't stick to it too long. But just YouTube, how to draw characters, how to draw skulls, how to draw anything really. And then you'll find tons of stuff, and they'll direct you to more courses as well. Because I only followed one course, one paid course. And to be honest, that might also be good for you because it's a lot of basics, right? Perspective and all that. But I already had a course in those basics, so it was rewatching a lot of those basics again. And yeah. Let's go to the eyes here. But yeah, and then just, you know, which die? Wait, what am I doing? So oh, right, because of mirror modifier. Cool. It's the same thing here as we always done. Put it on 6 this time, a little bit smaller eyes. Give them, yeah, big pupils. There we go. Then we can just do this together. Subject modes. Shade the smooth. Got the sculpt mode here. Just make sure it isn't really visible. Right. Oh, I did a boo boo here. I want X mirror, but I'm not sure that's gonna work correctly now because they already have different positions. Something went awry here. I kind of want to smooth some stuff out here. There we go. I don't know what to tell you. Just laugh. Okay, I'm not super happy about this one, I guess. It still came out like better than I expect to be. I think the nose might still have a little bit. Man, maybe this middle part just doesn't work. Like, yeah, that's better. Yeah, if you're going to learn to draw anatomy and poses and characters, learn to draw what you want to sculpt. I don't have dynamic topology on, right? Well, what just happened here? I don't know. Something is wrong. I'm just gonna leave it at that, start lighting it. Okay, so first things first, I need to append the shaders that I made last time, right? So I'm gonna go to rigids, last version, materials, and append those. That was clay new. I'm also gonna join up these, apply the skin, subdivision, join up these, doesn't really matter, shade them smooth. Like dark new. Let's see how this looks already. Although I might just make these the same and then have these two, or three rather, on the darker ones. Right. And let's find a nice lighting setup here. And I think, yeah, I kind of want to do is kind of simulate the television that he's looking at. It's kind of like, it should be way less bright now. There's a television in front of him. Looking kind of funky, but it kind of looks cool. And then of course, yes.
Kan ik nu weer al de zaadjes daarin steken?
Hmm?
Kan ik de zaadjes daar nu wel in steken? Voor stadsgroentjes en ik heb hier tuinvruchten.
Moet je eerst openen. Opent die.
Ja.
En dan krijg je de dingen van. Bijvoorbeeld een druif. En dan kun je overal leggen. Ook in die bakjes moet je het ook hier leggen. En dan kun je zeggen.
Ja, oké.
En dan leg je de rest hier en dan kun je zeggen.
Denk ik wel.
Ja, is graag gedaan. I have to take a shower. Have a nice day. Yeah, you too, man. I'll kind of make this more neutral in color. Oh, there we go. That's a nice color range, I guess. And one thing I want to check out is because I did check the bloom on, but I think the threshold might be a bit too high, and the radius as well. So I'm not really sure what it does at this point. Okay, first let's check the density. I'll put it on 4.02. The density is way less. In the bloom, I want to put the threshold lower, intensity higher, and the radius lower. But that doesn't do much, it seems. Let's pick this light and just pump it up really good for now. Yeah, and I think that's because of the density of the world. Might be, I want a lot lower. Now it's more the glow that's taking effect, right? Yeah, it's definitely still the let's go with this. Should be fine. Well, let's see how it looks with the clay. Yeah, a little bit of contrast. And I want to put a little bit more here. Colors are funky. Let's see if I can do something. Ah, this looks better, yeah. It's a bit more warm, cool contrast. Okay, I come to like him again. A bit looser again, a bit softer. Yeah, looks good. All right, check how the render looks. Da, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty happy with this. Not sure what I could add. Like, I could make the fur, but it's just gonna take hours upon hours.
All right, so I'm gonna leave it here. So as always, have you seen the definition of my webcam yet? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna poof. Nope, poof. I wanna thank my Patreons for supporting me. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the video as well, to the channel and everything. All that's good. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon down below, or go to patreon.com/bandite. Or if you want to check out the entries and the finished renders, because I'm gonna run this through Photoshop, you can go to twitter.com/gentingent, or check out the Facebook page of SculptJanuary, or go to CGBoost.com to check out what's going on with the SculptJanuary event. I'm gonna say bye. Julie's gonna say bye.
Bye.
And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.